What's going on to you Capricorns out here? So, you Capricorns actually have the Page of Swords, the Three of Cups, and then you have the Star card for you Capricorns. Aquarius, right? Major Arcana for Aquarius, right next to you, and they're both ruled by Saturn. So, so anyway, so for you Capricorns, right? Okay. Okay. There's a sense of you Capricorns making a huge change for yourselves. I'm seeing that a lot of you Capricorns are starting to have some sort of internal self-worth. The Page of Swords speaks to how it is that you realize that you got to stop essentially sabotaging yourself. So there's something that you Capricorns have learned that you do as a habit that you didn't really pay too close attention to, that you are stopping, you are essentially not doing anymore. The Three of Cups and the Star card right here represents, and so because you decided to not do that, there's a whole new world of internal peace that you Capricorns have been opened up to. A lot of you Capricorns over the past couple of months, particularly the second half of the year, you've been paying a close attention to your actual habits and how you need to change some of those habits because they cause you Capricorns to essentially take losses. And a lot of you Capricorns do not like to take losses. Y'all want to win the whole kit and caboodle. And so because of it, a lot of you Capricorns want to make sure that's my dog over there. A lot of you Capricorns want to make sure that you just end up making very good decisions in your life, and that, you know, you're tired of making terrible decisions. You know that a person is not really good for you, but you still hang around them anyway because for whatever imagined reason that you have up in your head, right? But you know deep down inside that you want to be with someone that you actually are proud of, and you want to be someone yourself that you can actually be proud of. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the Three of Cups, right? Seven of Swords speaks to the resolve that you Capricorns have reached within yourselves. And the Star card represents, because you've created this new resolve, you're actually going to start taking better care of yourself. There's from even where it is that you have learned from. So you're taking better care of yourself, even compared to how you even used to just a few weeks ago. So there's this sense of you Capricorns going from, you know, I am, somebody was hitting me up. You went from not really being in a position of being able to self-love. You don't care about yourself, or you're more so looking at relationships to define you as being a good person, to now you Capricorns understand how things work a little bit more, and you realize that you can't wait on another person per se. You have to actually be great within. You have to actually be great within yourselves. The reason why it is I'm saying that even in the first place is because you Capricorns are starting to even realize that once again you can't be so caught up with that ideology, because no matter how great you are, a relationship is not guaranteed no matter how wonderful you are. So granted, no one is an angel, but at the same time, when you striving to be as on point as you possibly could, the opposite is true. The better you are is the more people are going to be repelled by you, because you're too good, as it is that I was talking about. And you can probably tell from my laugh, I've actually seen and have lived through. And so because of that, a lot of you Capricorns have to make this stance, right? The Chariot and the Queen of Wands. It's this stance of, okay, well, since that's the case, do you Capricorns, what do you Capricorns truly want? What do y'all really want? There's this stance of you Capricorns really being in a situation where what exactly is it that you even truly, really want in the first place? Do you Capricorns even really want a person to disrespect you? What is it that you want? And from what I'm seeing, you Capricorns really want to love yourselves. And you are loving yourself the way that you should, right? With respect, a strong, stable foundation of respect. It's none of that fluctuating, watery, moving the goalpost type of love kind of nonsense. There's a sense of you Capricorns understanding a little bit more about yourself. And I've talked about this before. The more you understand about yourself is the more self-respect you have, right? Because on the spiritual journey, you got to study yourself. This is about you. This is about your own self, right? Understanding my temperament, understanding my height, my last name. I did the research to my last name, what the word Raymer means and all of that. It's a Moorish name. It's a British Anglo-Saxon Moorish. It's a Moorish Anglo-Saxon British name. So in other words, yeah, I'm Moorish, right, or so-called black or whatever, but Moorish, but it's an English, brutish or British name. And then my name Kareem is a traditional Moorish, so-called Arabic name. And I understand what those two things mean, right? But I understand both connections to my Moorish line. I understand the European side, and then on the English side, and I also understand the traditional Western Moorish American side. Now, why that's important is because that's part of where the self-love came from. I realized that from self-love and from self-understanding, right, finding out more about myself, I stopped disliking myself so much. And why I'm saying all that is because of the fact that the Wheel of Fortune, I said Chariot, excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands represents. So there's this confidence that needs to be established in you, that you have a certain amount of love and self-respect, not so much to the point where it's grandizing and you're just getting caught up with delusion of grandeur, but it's enough to where you Capricorns understand that even when times get rough and people who you try to get to know or you happen to just engage with tries to make you feel small, because that's one of the things that they're going to do. That's their go-to. They're going to always try to make you feel small. You Capricorns can't get caught up with that. So the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Wands, they'll try to make you feel small, and they'll let you feel that way. But then what happens if you don't is now it's like they're impressed, right? But the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Justice represents, but you Capricorns have a whole new level of foundational self-respect, because you Capricorns are starting to realize, like Pisces, that you stand in between the two worlds now. You are spiritual, you are also physical, and that you've been focusing on the physical side too much, right? The archetype, the keeping up with the Joneses, the trying to keep up with the Joneses, the trying to essentially be this amazing person, and that you are amazing, but trying to be an amazing person when you Capricorns understand that you're really only living up to what's trendy, right? Needing the archetype, because Capricorn represents the archetype, the perceived what the perfect partner is, as opposed to what's actually perfect for you. And so you got the whole world caught up with the archetype. 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6 inches, 6-pack stomach. That's a Capricorn thing. That archetype, that elitist, that's a Capricorn thing. Yeah. And a lot of you Capricorns are learning how to be not that anymore. And you're learning that, again, you're going to engage with other people, single, ready to mingle, but you Capricorns are not going to try to look for the archetype, or if it's a different type of archetype, it's always the person got to be bad. There's this obsession with the baddie, right? The bad, the person so fine, bad, fly. The baddie that you see on Instagram. Oh, the person who is mysterious. They have smoky eyes. All that goofy. Trying to be in a relationship with that person who's more beautiful. All that gobbledygook. And now that you Capricorns are learning how to self-respect, how to love yourself, right? You're becoming more spiritually inclined. Guess what it means? It means that now you Capricorns are learning that it's a lot less. This is why you got the justice. You're realizing that it's a lot less about the looks and the 6 feet tall, 6 figures, and all that garbage. And you're realizing that it's more about the character. Because let me explain to you, as a person who's experiencing it myself, I know some baddies. They be baddies come in flavors. Baddies come in flavors. Believe you me. And I can name some names off. Baddies come in flavors. But let me tell you, they got issues. And you just got to accept that for what it is. They got issues. But let's go ahead and clarify some of these cards, right? So I'm realizing that my misconception of what I've learned or what I had adopted wasn't correct. That truly, and I haven't been practicing this for a long time, but I see a lot of other brothers practice this. The perception of the person needing to be just this amazingly, attractively beautiful or handsome individual. One thing that I'm realizing, truth be told, is that is like really it being attractive, or the archetype, my dear Capricorns, take it from me, that's actually more of a hindrance to you and where you want to go, especially if whether you are that person or whether you're trying to stand next to that person in a relationship. That's really a hindrance. And the reason why I say that it's a hindrance is because, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but like, when you going for the archetype, one thing that you got to understand, my dear Capricorns, and I'm putting you on game, a person who has the archetype, right? What everybody says that they're looking for, that's popular now, right? The sixes or the baddie, right? They don't like that experience, because to the baddies know, first and foremost, it's the paranoia of the baddies questioning who's really for them and who's not. Then you be having a bunch of jealous individuals that be in competition with everybody, and they don't want to see another person really actually shine for their beauty. So what will happen is that sometimes people will try to do certain things, believe it or not, to a person who's a baddie. I've seen it and I've heard of it, where they're so jealous of how beautiful a baddie is, quote unquote, or an individual is. They really want to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, make them less beautiful. So what they'll do is that they'll I can't even talk about it here on YouTube, but like they'll try to like mess with them and stuff like this. And not only that too, but also it's the envy of, trust me, I'm seeing some flavors. I'm seeing the baddies come in flavors. And like what I really peep about them is like, them people, like other people who are in competition, if they're not trying to like put their hands on them because they're in competition with one another, right? Serious competition with one another, it gets deep. then they're wishing for the person's beauty, the baddie's beauty, that they don't even realize what comes with being that beautiful themselves. So it's like they really kind of look at that beauty like it's really a burden to them than anything. This is how it is and you can tell that I've been hanging around some bad, because I really peep that stuff. And then even when it comes to like individuals who have the sixes, right, all that trash, they be peeping the game that they are just a lottery ticket. Everybody asking for this money and is entitled to this money, and they don't even understand how money is generated, how difficult money is to generate and then to keep successfully. You gotta invest it. You have to put in work. You have to invest it. You have to be patient. You have to have a spiritual foundation, knowing that despite you had this money and that you have to give it up, and you never know 100% if you're ever actually going to get the money back and even grow the money, let alone get it back, or if the money ends up just straight up going to zero. And then you lose the 600,000, 1,500, 2,000, how many umpteen thousand, sometimes $100,000 that you have been so lucky enough to stack up. And this is where you get the sense of entitlement from, because everybody is talking about this money situation, and it's like, but how many people actually know what it feels like to really make money, really invest, really? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are talking about money things, and you can tell that they don't really have a real informed, in-depth, really deep, wise understanding of what they're talking about. They're talking about money from the aspect of spending it. But who wants to hear about somebody talk to them from an aspect of, well, I'm just going to hang around you to spend your money? Sense of entitlement of much? So let's clarify the justice. You have the Nine of Cups, Two of Wands, the Hangman, Two of Swords, and then you have the Empress for you Capricorns. And like it is that I said before, you now have a better understanding of how the world works, and that your assignment is to make sure that you have a strong foundation in your own confidence and in your own being, and understand that no matter the difficulties that you Capricorns go through, when people talk to you about how it is that you trash, if you haven't actually been trash to them, they're saying that you're trash because they have to ruin your own internal world, your own peace, and don't allow them to do that. So that's pretty much it. Take care of yourself. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We have 16,735 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.